I'm out on a snowy walk, and I was thinking about ritual and magic from things that I've just been seeing in my world lately. And I've been known to call myself magical or a witch at times, yet I also don't identify as a witch or pagan or Wiccan. If I were to choose an identity, it would be mystic or metaphysician. And I want to talk about the differences between those. And what it comes down to is inner intention versus outer intention. So New Thought believes that the power is within us. So when we do inner empowerment work, it's about acknowledging the power and presence within us that is connected to the one, connected to the source, that is everything that the one is. Everything that the one is, since we are a part of it, is also us. So infinite wisdom, intelligence, that genius within inside, infinite love, ever expanding, no ends. It's all in us. We are a drop in that ocean. Versus New Age has more of a thought of external things having power. So crystals, incantations, and rituals that you would see in magical Wiccan traditions. I'm going to show you the moon here. It's popping in between these trees. Can you see that? Can you see the moon right there? So, internal. The power is within me to create the reality I want. Our worlds, to an extent, are a reflection of our inner experience, our inner beliefs, the things that hold us back. If I have 100% belief in an outcome, I can simply declare it. You know what? I'm going to make this happen. In a year's time, I'm going to Europe and I'm going to spend 6 months there, and I'm going to have all the funds available and all of the places available. Or I'm going to build that business and bring in that income. Whatever it is, I can just declare it if I already have the belief that leads me to fully be able to stand 100% behind that declaration. So this is where ritual comes into play. Rituals help with our belief. So if I say, okay, on this full moon that we have right now, I'm going to do a sacred ritual. I'm going to bring intention into it. And let's say it is money. I'm going to get a green candle and I'm going to light that green candle. I'm going to put these specific herbs around here. I'm going to use these crystals. I'm going to voice these incantations, have these affirmations. I'm going to pour water into another glass. Like, there's all kinds of rituals that we can do. And you can find people talking about how these worked for them. And I would say that it's not because of some external power or deity that we're invoking. We are invoking that belief, that knowing within ourselves that it can happen, it will happen. And then when we fully know it, then all we do is look for the evidence of that unfoldment in our life. We're not looking for, oh, see, this happened, so it didn't work. We're trusting the process. And so even if there's a setback, we're like, well, this is what success looks like. This is what it means to take another step forward to that European vacation, because you don't know what kind of detour is going to lead you to the thing that you really wanted in the first place. And so this is the difference between inner intention, where I can intend, declare, an outer intention where I'm going to do a ritual, I'm going to do something to make things happen. Now, we need both of these. The Secret, the book and the movie, talked like all you have to do is intend, and that got a lot of backlash because most people are not able to do that. I do think that you can get to a place where you can simply declare, let it go, but most of us need a process to build up the inner belief, inner knowing. And we also need to look at those shadows, the things that are causing imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, attracting toxic people into our lives, the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of planes if we're going overseas. We have these fears, these knots, these limitations, and often just visualizing or affirming things is not going to get us to our end results. Declaring something is not going to get us to our end result. And so this is what the inner work is about. This is what subconscious work is about. And that subconscious lies there between that inner and outer. And it's really hard to decipher, when are we in the subconscious? What is this subconscious or conscious? Right? You know, as we listen to this crunchy, icy snow, we can think of an iceberg, and 90% to 95% of that iceberg is under the water. And that would be the subconscious. 90% of the choices that we make or don't make, 90% of our personality, 90 to 95% of everything that we experience in the world is reflection of our subconscious mind, our subconscious programming and conditioning. The strategies we came up with throughout our lives, particularly in our childhood, in order to get what we needed, namely acceptance, love, approval, safety. Because in tribal times, if we didn't have that acceptance by the tribe, we were cast out, we couldn't survive. So these are all survival needs. I want to point out that often doing like positivity work or affirmation work can actually make things worse in our lives. It can set us backwards because it activates those inner things within us that are like, no, that's not true. That's not true for me. It creates inner resistance and we push back. Same with when we're doing some sort of technique or modality that's telling us what to do, what to see. There's a part in us that's like, nope, I don't want to be told what to do, even though we might seek it out. There's part of us that's like, nope, don't tell me what to do. And so affirmations can act in the same way, where these parts of us all of a sudden don't feel seen, don't feel safe, don't feel heard, understood, or just full out are like, that's not possible for us. You're not capable of that, or it's just not safe. Like, it's safer to just stay here, stay home, than go and fly overseas to a whole new country and deal with all that kind of stuff. So when I think of being magical or being like a witch, it's more about being able to regulate and manage my own energy so that I don't get pulled into these emotional states that can leave me spinning or on the ground. And it's not that I'm always high vibe all the time, because that's not taking in the wholeness of who we are. Like, for instance, the past few years have been pretty shadowy, and I've learned a lot about myself through this process of the heartaches and the challenges and tailspins. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I put aside my spiritual beliefs for a couple years and was extremely skeptical to pick them back up. I got so good at questioning my beliefs. And I can honestly say there's very little I know that I know. But what I do know is what works. And not everything works for every person. That's why there's so many options that are out there. And why I've studied so many things, why I've experienced so many things myself on this path of being a healer and teacher for 20 years. And what I know is what I've seen work for myself, work for clients, work for all of these people that I've been in workshops with. And so this is why outer intention is so important. Action. And for me, rituals I've had that have put me in a good place is like making a beautiful matcha latte, hand making the milk each morning. That was something that I looked forward to, that I put the significance into. I put the purpose into. The significance and purpose was not out there. It might have looked like that, like, oh, it's the matcha that's doing it for me. No, it's not the matcha that's doing it for me. But that was a beautiful part of my morning ritual. And it represented something I was doing for myself. It took extra time. Like, there were parts of me that just resisted it, because who has the time for that, right? But that was the point. A whole skincare routine. I used to be very minimalistic when it came to skincare, only like natural oils and stuff like that. But I changed my thoughts on that. And I started a whole skincare routine. And it's like, well, who has the time for that? All these things that add up, that take extra time, that we could be putting towards more important things. Yet at the same time, it did something for me. It says, I'm worth the time. I am worth the time. Doing these steps to make this matcha, to put these layers of concoctions and potions on my body. And that sent the message that I was worth it, that I was valuable, that I was lovable. Whether I needed any of those things or not, those were external intentions. Those were action steps. And so it's great to have intention. But if you think that you're just going to meditate and visualize your way there, positivity, law of attraction, just attract everything, don't actually have to put in the work and take action. And that has been me over the years, and thinking, oh, it doesn't work, or it's not working for me, or what am I doing wrong? There must be something wrong with me. And it's because of not taking the action, not putting into place some sort of ritual to make it easy to take those actions on a daily basis. So what rituals do you want to add into your life? What kind of external action do you want to take to bring your intention to life? And maybe group support or one-on-one support is something that you want with that. I'm about halfway through 75 hard. And I would have quit so many times if I didn't have a group of people that I wanted to continue forward with, that I wanted to continue riding this wave of intention with, because there's a lot of power in collective intention and riding a collective wave of like-minded people that are succeeding. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, I have a program coming up in about a week or so. Reach out if you want to know more about it. It's kind of like 75 hard if you're familiar with that, but think of more purpose-driven. How do I connect to myself, who it is that I really am, that I may have lost along the way? It's all about self-connection, and how that self-connection then permeates out into the world around us. Because it all starts with the being, the internal intention, internal connection, internal awareness of what it is my thoughts are doing. The self-sabotage, oh, I'm a fraud, I don't deserve that, I'm not enough. The subconscious reasons that cause us to do the things that we do. We're like, why did I do that? Why did I just down that bag of tricks? Why did I reach out to that ex that I know was no good for me. And now I got in a drama loop and I got to work my way out of that. I got hurt again. It brought up this old stuff. This is how the subconscious mind acts out. It thinks it's for us. It always thinks it's for us. It's never against us because of the programming that got put into place when we were young. And so what we want to do is look at what's in there, play with that, see what comes up so that we can create something new and know ourselves better and have more fulfillment, more purpose in our lives from a place of inner intention, from the place of being. Reach out if you want to know more. And thanks for sticking with me through this darkening of the skies.